him somewhere.
He's out
Yeah.
for a bottle of water.
Well, 5:30, we'll get this show on the road, Bob.
You want to wait till they come in or what? Is Brian here?
Yeah, he's getting a bottle of water.
Meeting starts at 5:30. Okay, number one, paving streets. We had a paving meeting before they start paving. And the starting date for paving will be July 9th. So that's a good date. That's before school starts. They're gonna start milling around July 9th. There'll be some places out Willow Ridge they'll have to mill. They're going to mill around the street department, that area. And then I think within the next couple of days we'll start paving.
Hey Bob.
Yeah.
Since we've never used this company before, and I've never really heard of them or anything like that, I assume you're going to have somebody kind of keep an eye on them.
Yeah,
or
well,
whatever.
inspector. We always, we usually do anyway.
I mean, I'm not saying they do anything, but just,
Right.
different companies do things different ways and stuff. And,
Right.
and we might assume, oh, if Kikosi or Shelley had it, they're going to do this. And all of a sudden, this company comes out and goes, oh, well, we don't do that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
We had the engineer from Job's here, myself, and a couple guys from the street department. And the meeting went really well.
Good,
good.
good.
So
That's good.
They were up on, we were talking about manholes and things like that and how we were going to do some things. So they seemed really easy to work with.
Okay.
So I was pretty happy. I'm going to pass these out. These are the streets again. I know we went over them, but just to refresh your memory, in case anybody asks you what streets are going to be paved, those are the streets. And forgive the little black blotches, but that's how my copier did it.
Paving. You want one there?
Before you move on. Okay.
I was just distributing them.
Right. So a lot of these again are in Willow Ridge, a few in Forest Hills. Franklin is, I think I had told you, it is on the north side of Hopewell. We're going to do all that, and then it'll go up, I think, around Betty, where we will stop on Franklin Avenue. So this won't be all Franklin Avenue.
It'll be up to where John lives, right?
Yeah, I think somewhere around there.
Because that's
one of those.
That was tore up right
Yeah,
there.
I think right there we stopped. Liberty Drive is being done. South 30th Street. Now South 30th Street would be where the Olive Garden is to Dorsey
Down
Mill.
around to the stop sign, right?
Yeah.
Or
Go to this Dorsey Mill to the stop sign where you go in the Lowe's and
then down by
Olive Garden.
Kroger's. By Kroger's.
Yeah, all the way to Kroger's.
Oh, okay.
That's South 30th Street
Okay.
to Dorsey Mill.
All right.
Carlton Drive. It'd be nice if we could widen that, but that's one of the streets off of Heath Road, and it's very narrow, bad shape. And there's a section of Dogleg Road, but we are doing the street department parking lot because that is really bad.
Are you milling up in there first?
Yeah,
or just
we're
everything
milling.
milling up in there?
Yep. Yeah, you think that might be one of the best places, but it's just a lot of asphalt dumped here and dumped there and dumped there, filling holes. So we're taking care of that. So I think that'll be good. So, they might be done, within a week or two. Well, probably a week after they get started. So that'll be good before school starts.
Even before?
Oh, before school starts. I'm just looking at my notes here. We do have a part of the project is doing some repair work in Willow Ridge. So we're having a meeting with them prior to paving to go over that. That might be.
When do you think Willow Ridge will start?
They're starting everything on the 9th. That's a Tuesday. They
Probably.
It
start
depends
before
how.
that, huh?
It depends how much they have to mill. They're going to start milling up there on the 9th.
Oh, they're going to start milling
Yeah.
on the 9th.
Okay. Yeah.
July.
Yes. I'm looking to see when that meeting. Hope I could. It must be this week. I'll have to talk to Dave on that. But anyway, we met with people and they seem to be doing pretty good. Did you say you had something before we move on?
Yeah, just a comment. I don't know how many went down 30th Street. Was the last meeting last month? Everybody's all concerned about 30th Street and the wrong stripe.
Yeah.
I think it works great.
if somebody can't keep between the lines, they shouldn't be driving.
That's for sure.
That's just my own
for sure.
personal.
Hey, I agree with you. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I think it's.
I know there was a lot of concern, but I thought, no, he didn't do it right, but B, it
Right.
wasn't
Right.
the end of the world.
I really didn't notice until someone said something to me, so. Now, one of the guys said something one day, he said they were, a really big truck was beside him and maybe we were pulling our trailer. They felt a little squeezed in a little bit.
Yeah.
They were worried about that.
Yeah, if you have a big truck on 30th Street, it doesn't make any difference. You add 6 inches, it ain't gonna make a difference.
Yeah. Okay, so you know when that gets started. Number 2, again, we're spraying weeds and trying to have the kids we hired weed eat the guardrails. So we're trying to make those look better. Still, we're a man down because of the guy we had transferred to the water department. We didn't replace him, so I'm still working on the mayor for that, for replacement. But we're trying to get stuff done as we go. The mowing itself, we're starting to pick up a little bit. It's been a wet May and June, really. And of course, it's affected the pool too a little bit. Yeah, on the grass is growing like crazy.
You're getting caught up on it, though.
Yeah, it's getting caught up. It doesn't look the way I want it to look, but it may never look the way I want it to look. I don't know. I wish we could make it look better. The other thing is number 3 is the medium on 79, and I just wanted to kind of show you some things that I was thinking of, but the kids went down and weeded the 2 medians, and they looked pretty nice after they got done, especially where all the rose bushes were. They looked really good. The other 2 islands, I think is there 3? I think there's 3.
3 islands.
Yeah, the other 2 islands had these grasses in them, and I don't know. It's just there's nothing in there. You know, there's a tree or a dead tree, and then there's nothing in there. I think John's working on getting the trees replaced, as far as I know. But my idea is, and we can't do it this year because we're probably too late. But either we start planting perennials in there, and then doing some annuals. I was in Cleveland a couple weeks ago, and by the Cuyahoga Community College, and they had let's just like this was the median here. I mean, it was just flowers, wall to wall, like yellow and red, but they had a border. It looked great. I mean, it's just you go wow, you know. So why can't we wow something on 79 to make it look better? Those roses, I had a lot of compliments. I mean, but just saying how nice it looked, you know. So why can't we do that with the other 2 medians? So the first thing up here is they have adopted medium in Indianapolis. I don't know how long this takes, but they have 650 medians in the county, and they try to get people adopted medians. I know they did it downtown Newark. But maybe it's a thing where maybe somebody will just donate the money to buy the annuals if we buy annuals. If we put perennials in there, then that's something that you won't have to do every year if we start part of that. But I think to make sure we have color all the time, it'd be nice to plant annuals in there, and something that would just be phenomenal. But maybe that's something we can tie in with those banners we have. Maybe you do a banner, and then maybe you buy the flowers. We're still on Wednesday, we're opening bids for the, is it Wednesday, Keith? You know that for sure? I think it's Wednesday, June 20th. What's June, is that Thursday? I think it's Thursday.
20th.
Yeah, I think it's Thursday. But whoever we hire to water and weed, they could take care of the flowers that we have in there, just to make sure. But I think those medians should look perfect all the time. You know, we should never have weeds growing up. It's embarrassing to me. And we just got off to a late start with doing this stuff, and it looks so much better the way we do it. Of course, it probably needs it again. But we will be taking bids on Thursday for that.
You say you'll be starting to take the bids on Thursday?
On Thursday.
It's the opening.
Opening bid.
Open the bid.
Yes, on Thursday.
Is there still a garden club in town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don Don Chester is involved in that. I think Mary Kelly's even in
Talk
there.
to them and see if maybe they might come up with some ideas.
It'd be
able to help them.
the money. I wouldn't put anybody out there because the kids, when they were weeding out there, I basically feared for their lives. I mean, we had to put signs up, and people were. I mean, Dave Pennington was out there, and you know his derriere was sticking over the curb there, and I was. I mean, literally, you know, you're planting flowers, and I mean, you're like that close to a car coming by.
Yeah, and the mirrors on some of the vehicles stick
Oh,
out
yeah.
so far that you could be standing and
it can still get you.
Yeah. So I was glad when we were done. So I'd rather contract that out. Yeah.
Hey Bob, you said John was checking in like those plants that, you know, like I said, that grass thing looked like they're dead in my
Right.
opinion and stuff. I mean, just some of the prices here. I got the the bid prices and what they put the things in. It's like there was this slow mound or something like that it was called. There's 212 of them out there, and we paid $55 a piece for them for $11,660.
Wow.
That's installed.
That's
The evergreen
grass
shrub, the
thing.
15-inch height, yucca something or another. There's 79 of them. They were $30 a piece.
I think
The rose plants, there's 196 of them. I think they're $33 a piece. You know anything?
They're growing.
The trees, they're $500 a piece. There's another mound plant in here. There's only $15 a piece for them. There's 98 of them, but of course that's planted. I mean,
Right.
everything. But what I'm saying is, those things died, didn't live, and anything. If they don't plant something, I mean, of course we didn't pay the full amount because it was,
Right. Right.
project and stuff. But still, we had to get some bang for our buck or something back. Whatever. We
Yeah,
paid
I don't
and
know
stuff.
where John. If John
Stuff,
comes
so.
in later, we'll ask him where he's at with that stuff. But we need someone to come in. If those plants, I mean, maybe they come up in the fall. I'm not sure what's even that. Those yucca plants, if that's what they are.
No, they
Maybe
should have been up.
They should be up now.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah,
bulbs
yeah.
there, and I said, pick up the dead stuff, but don't pull the bulbs out. So everything was left in there.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything happening. I haven't been on the islands for
Yeah.
a month, so I don't know. But to me, it's just I don't
It
think
looks
it's enough.
vacant, dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be.
And we need to
They
have
should have been
more.
designed so that there was always something there, either
Right.
green or
Right.
coloring or flower.
And if we do some
something,
perennials, they'll come and go
Yeah.
But if you plant annuals, at least you'll have color
Yeah.
all year long, and you just have to replace them next year. But that'd be something fresh that you plant every year. So anyway, they have Indianapolis has a program, and they can put a sign on there if you want to. I wouldn't have them maintain stuff, but that's just a little example of maybe some things they do. We don't have any grass, but that's I'm more into more flash. And that might be a medium. That's in I think that's Connecticut. I was probably in Washington D.C. But just something that just is a little bit more.
That looks like my banner.
But you could combine the banners with the flowers. I mean, this is an example. Different
You
things
could
you
put
can do.
You could put the purple plague in there, Bob.
Yeah.
The one I forget what they're called, but like you go to Pennsylvania and along the some of those medians over there, when those things come out, it's a purple. I mean, they're everywhere. It's a wild grass but it's there for a long time.
Maybe it's lavenders. Is that what
Lavender.
it is?
That's
Lavenders.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then they smell good too, Keith.
and they're really, I mean, when they take over,
Southern North Carolina.
They really do.
Yeah.
Impressed.
And see, and that's a perennial, and you could have lavender in there. And then,
Out on 70, they had wildflowers
Yeah.
down there for a while.
Yeah.
And they've got down the southern part of North Carolina, they've got
crop off of it.
medians down there, and they've got scarecrows out there. They're beautiful.
I don't know why that happened.
We could plant dandelions. Hell, they never.
Yeah,
Can we plant some corn and tomatoes and get crop off of there?
I think that's something that maybe you need to, see if we can't get the garden clubs involved.
Well, if they do fundraisers and stuff, they might put somebody towards it. I hate to have them out there on the median, but I think we're kind of looking for financial support. There's one down here I wanted to show you a little bit more. I was looking for an hour today. I just couldn't find a whole lot.
Nice big old sign that says.
As part of the information you'll get with your
Donated by
bids, state what
Heath
kind of
Garden Club.
insurance the company has.
They're all bought. They're all.
They all have it, yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking
Yeah,
that
for-
maybe
We could get a
Heath
bunch
and
of
I have
hyacinths
a
and
little
tulips put
landscaping
out there
business on the
for the
side, and we
spring
decide we
come
want
up,
to submit a
yeah.
bid. We might not have that one.
Why are you picking
Call
on
some
me?
people.
I was going to business with you. I picked you for my partner. I wasn't picking on you.
Okay.
I mean, this is in a.
I actually am a real fan of this stuff, and go to downtown New Albany. They have the hugest hanging baskets.
Oh, I know.
I mean, just
Over
like
Reynoldsburg too.
Bob's talking about.
Right.
Wow.
Have you ever seen those hanging baskets in Reynoldsburg? And those guys, the street department guys, got a big tank, and they go down there in the morning and they water them suckers. They go clear down that street and go across, come back up through the median. I mean,
Does
it's
anybody
amazing.
watch the street?
There's a
Are we
cost
gonna
to it.
get baskets, Bob?
Looks nice. but
I think we can hang baskets on those things,
Yeah,
but we
that-
have to have water, and that's where
Ah.
my recommendation is we are going to hire someone to take care of the middle, and I think that's what we should do.
Water running right down the middle of the road.
There is water.
There is water on the islands.
Costs us $7,500 per.
Yep.
There's
Have water under.
Yep.
There is water out there?
Yeah, $7,500 for each island to have water.
You didn't
I know. I'm just telling you that's what it costs to put the tap in.
I wasn't here when it was passed.
There you go. You do something. There you
I
go.
wasn't.
There you go.
I just think of something
flag.
like when you go, that's like.
That's a
I mean, it
big
might
one.
cause a few accidents, but. But I
That
think you
is
just
nice.
be able to say, "Wow!" And if we can do it where people donate the stuff to us,
Yeah.
and then we're going to pay for somebody to maintain it anyway, why not do something nice? So.
Yeah.
Need to
Park
find an
National
orange
Bank
flower
does a
though.
darn good job at 30th Street. If you look at their landscaping
Yeah, they
around
do.
Well,
that, it really is nice.
don't even get me started on that one because some of these areas, the Duke Station on 79, I think it looks fabulous. Bob Evans, of course. The tire place must have hired the same place Bob Evans did because they look really, it's really nice. I really like that, and maybe we do stuff and we can keep pushing these businesses to keep really, make landscaping their property nicer, and we can make 79, as nice as we can with all the stuff that's on there.
Yeah.
Because I think the median we put in has really helped 79. I think it looks better.
Oh, I think
really
it does
do.
too.
I mean, we did it. Maybe we didn't want to do it. We did it, but overall, I don't think it looks. I don't think it looks too bad.
A lot of people
I've had some people say
comment
something.
on it.
So,
A lot of people say, hey, it's really nice.
so anyway, I mean, we could go on and on, but I think I think you get the idea. I think you get the idea that we could do something kind of maybe a little spectacular. So that's nice. You agree with that, or is that something we want to pursue? And I think you're absolutely right. We need to figure out what we're going to do with these trees, and hopefully they're going to replace them. And if these plants, what are we going to do if these plants they're not growing? I mean, okay, then you owe us a certain amount of money.
Well, that's
so-
what I'm saying. I think we had to go and say if we paid for those. I mean, whether ODOT paid for it or
Right.
somebody paid for it and they didn't get it, they need to replace them either with something the same, similar, or value-wise.
Right.
Pull them out and say, well, that didn't work, so let's try this.
Right.
Pepsi didn't work, we'll try Mountain Dew or something like
Right.
that. Kind of a situation.
I mean, I think we're going to fight the salt to a point.
But
So
we know that's, that they're at the height of what they're supposed to be, Bob. I mean, a lot of times when you put plants in, I know, we do around the yard and everything like that sometimes you stunt the thing and it takes them a year before they'll take them.
Yeah.
And then get going,
I mean, we'd have to have someone look at the people who plant them and just be out there and it's like, well, explain this to
That
me.
was the comment that was made last month. is we can't just sit here as Joe Blow and assume, let's get them the hell back here and find out.
That's right.
So if John comes in, just ask, well,
Yeah.
you can just ask him where we're at with that. And I know he's contacted the guy, but sometimes you can't plant these trees till the fall. So I don't know, it'd be better to pull the trees out now and fill them in later or whatever. And then what I was gonna say is where the salt comes in, I look at some of those rose bushes we have out there, the ones that are closest to the road, some of them are iffy, you know. And that's where you could put annuals. If you took out a row of those
Right.
and maybe replace some that weren't as good, you could plant annuals and then, you know,
Maybe
the
we don't
annuals
have
die
something there,
anyway.
you know, maybe
Yeah.
we keep just mulch, you know,
Right.
instead of having a plant this close to the edge, you move it back.
You
and-
move it back, but in the summertime you
Yeah,
could
you
put
could put-
annuals
yeah,
in there
yeah.
because they're going to be gone anyway.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, Bob, you're into this, aren't you?
I like it. I like
You know, you could get mums in the fall, you know, you could have.
I have a feminine side of me.
Pardon me?
There's a feminine side of me. You haven't seen.
Well, we can discuss
Next.
I noticed you said that when the press wasn't here.
It's on
Hey,
YouTube,
Bob.
though.
Hey, before you get off the flowers, I instead of having to talk to Dick, I said I'll just bring it to council meeting and ask Bob or John. Over there, you know where that storage barn is behind the mall?
Yeah.
And then
The red.
down from the barn on down to almost Geller Park, there's a mound that runs down through there.
Yeah. You mean
Yeah.
behind Clarence Drive?
Well, these guys said that the mall used to mow all the way down through there, but I don't know exactly where it is, but he said you can see it. They just stopped this year and quit mowing on the past certain spot there. So,
That would be a John
yeah.
issue. If I don't know if there's a requirement to mow that or not. But if they have been mowing it, it sure looks nicer, I guess.
Yeah, I'm used
The
to.
mound itself is owned by the people that own the big property out here, because that's the way to get that 20-foot easement through for the storm sewer. You know, behind Clarence.
got the cornfield.
You mean
Yeah.
Van Boris?
Yeah,
Van Boris.
yeah, that strip that runs behind Clarence, or behind
Yeah,
those
right,
houses, and before you
right.
get to the mall, that strip, that
That
20-foot
belongs
wide strip all the way
But-
through there is owned by them.
But Indian Mountain Mall put that mountain in there.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, they
I'm
put
just
it in
saying.
there
I'm
for
just saying.
privacy.
But the ground is there's a
Yeah.
space in there. We had to keep
But Indian Mountain Mall put that mountain in there.
Yeah.
Well, if they put it in,
A couple years ago,
shouldn't they be mowing it?
we were talking.
I would want you to. If I was
Check
John,
it out.
I'd like to have them.
We'll check with John.
Yeah.
Are they stopping near the pond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're stopping near that, they could say it's for it's a wetlands kind of thing, and it's not. They don't have to mow it.
They're not mowing it because they don't want to spend money on gas.
I know why they're not. I'm just saying that
Or pay someone to do it.
they're
you
probably
know.
saying it's environmentally friendly not to.
You see golf courses doing the same thing. There's just areas they're not mowing anymore.
Yeah, they're letting.
Tim, he did, I'm pretty sure he told me, he says we know there's an alley that goes down through there, said everybody on Claren mows that, but he said well, it's right close to Mary Kelly's house too.
Yeah, they put that mountain all the way down through.
Yeah,
there
they
where
put the
don't
mountain
mow.
down there because that was
But
for.
they're mowing that, I think the strip they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
And a few years ago, I wanted to ask you guys too, when we asked them for right of way go through, we was talking about putting a road through there. They didn't give us a road, did they?
Mhm.
I didn't think they did. I said, I don't think.
I thought they were going to give us the right of way, weren't they, or not? Didn't they say that they were going to give us that right of way?
You mean like if we
By
extended?
Target or somewhere? Was it by Target to get into Van Boris property?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
There's
Yeah.
that behind the pond.
We've
Yeah.
all talked about like if it got developed and stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it ever.
I don't know if we have anything official, but I thought they had agreed to it. Maybe. Anything else? But we'll ask John. We got a lot of questions for John. We'll just.
I didn't want to forget it. I
Right.
told them rather than call Dick.
Next item.
The signs for I talked to the mayor about this, and the signs that we put up, and the ones down by your house where we have them on one side, but maybe not on the other side. I talked to the mayor. I would like to be able to order some signs to complete this thing so it looks good. Some of the Jobs had a way that they want us to put the signs up. And the guys, when they started putting the signs up, they just put them up the way they would always do, know, a sign on each side here, and then a sign here on each side, so you can see it everywhere you're going. And Job's had a different idea how we could do it, and the guys didn't really follow that to the T. And so, you know, they said we're short a few signs. Well, why? Well, we found out why. They just didn't follow exactly what Job said wanted. But I'm not saying what Job wanted was
Right.
maybe I wouldn't agree with that. You know,
They look
sometimes you don't know how things look until you do it. You know, and then
Yeah.
so we like to talk to the mayor, and he kind of agreed that we'd like to order some signs to complete this thing. Now these signs are more expensive because they're brown and reflective and all the other things. So it's around $2,500 to complete what we need. And I don't have a legislative request tonight, but I wanted to get a feeling if you were for that or not, that the next meeting maybe I could bring something in.
Well, them suckers work, you know,
What's that?
them signs, the reflectivity,
Yeah.
you know, used to, I could turn off, 79, what, Urban Way, I couldn't even see the sign at Whispering Pines. Immediately after you turn it off, now at night, you can see that sign.
Good.
It lights up, and you can read it.
There on, when you come down Oberlin
Uh-huh.
and you hit the stop sign,
Okay.
the sign says Lee with an arrow to the right,
Okay.
which is correct. But
Right.
there's nothing that says that Oberlin goes
To the left.
And I was waiting on Lucart to get there today because the air conditioner went out. And
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting outside waiting to see him. So I see the van, it says Lucart, so I know it's him. I see him hit the stop sign. I said, oh, good, he's here. So I get out of the chair and start to go.
Right.
And he pulls straight across into that guy's driveway that, you know, runs across.
Right.
And he backs out and I said, oh, okay, good. He's realized, you know, it's this way.
Right.
He goes like this, he goes and turns left, he goes right back up the street the other way because he doesn't know that that's
Oberlin
Oberlin
too.
there.
So
You
it
need
a
just
sign
it
that
just
says-
Lee with that, but it doesn't say Oberlin this way.
Doesn't say Oberlin that way at all.
Okay. Okay.
So, you know, it needs a sign that says Oberlin that way because it's,
Well, it's Oberlin all the way in,
you know,
till it ends.
yeah.
It
But
didn't end.
you don't know.
Well, yeah.
You don't know you turn. It's a stop sign.
Oberlin,
It
unless the sign says
thinks it's
something
another street.
Right. They think, yeah.
You know,
Assume it's Lee.
it's Lee. You know, it's like Lee with an arrow, and it's like they don't pay
But
attention.
if he came down, what, Colonial?
If you come down Colonial, there's a sign that
There's a
says
sign that
Oberlin,
says
Oberlin there, but there's not one that says Colonial on the other
Right.
side. It's missing a Colonial.
All right.
Anything. But
What's your feeling on
What I might do is have John bring something at his community development meeting the first Monday in July.
to finish
And
out
maybe,
the
yeah,
sign?
then maybe, yeah, and then we get those ordered.
is there lag time on ordering though? I mean, should you just speed it along to
It's gonna take a little bit of time.
you know?
Shouldn't take that long.
I mean, we could do legislative requests tonight, if you have one.
There's some in the drawer.
I'd do one tonight so we could
Far right.
vote on it next.
That should be right at
Our
the
next
top.
first meeting in July, we
Should be
can
right in
get
front.
it voted on.
Yeah.
That way you get them ordered, because otherwise,
Tim ain't gonna get his AC fixed.
You wanna do that?
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'd like
Basic
to
fix.
probably just
Brian.
have it go to,
Finish it.
Let me know when you got that Walden.
appropriations.
You
That's
know,
not
what
right.
I'm
I
doing
mean,
at 52:59, operating materials
it's
and
half.
supplies.
I mean,
Operating materials and supplies.
it's like let's finish it. You know, it's like
So
We
we
don't
the
have
street
to-
fund?
Yes.
why not
But we
do all
don't
the
have to
streets
say
and do
it's
them all
for
right?
signs.
Just be done with it. You know.
To go into my
Really?
operating materials and supplies.
Hey, Bob,
How much?
I thought we did this out.
Wait a minute. Did we do the entire city for signs?
No, we can only do the port area.
Well, my area, poor.
Yeah,
That's why I thought we got
Overland,
named.
Tilton, you know. Yeah, it's what qualifies on your CDBG,
That's
Community
poor.
Development Block Grant money, and they designate areas that you can put those in.
We will be,
That's a big one of them.
Bob, we will be reading that second reading tonight on the $25 cost for the
Yes.
sign.
Try to keep
Lady
the poor
still
guy down.
wants
See
that
that?
Walden.
I have
Elitist.
her name,
She's an
and then
elitist.
Linda
Come get the
Boyles wants Daisy
She's an
Lane.
elitist.
Okay, so he's
I
saying
got
that
the money.
Can't poor people
he's
have
got
nice
the
things
money
to do?
for it.
Okay, well, you turn that into City Hall here.
Okay.
And Keith, are you gonna have a key, a key for that, or
Did he find it?
what signs they're gonna sell?
Well, as he brings that
Signs
way,
are
I'm
gonna
running down
sell.
the street.
Am I gonna have
Let's
a
try to
key?
get to
Well, I don't know how, what
I
do you
take
put
my
them
phone
in
out. I
when
was
they
gonna
bring the money in?
call back and
When
tell
you
him. And about the time I went,
Buy those
three
street
rang
signs.
and I went, turn around and come back to the stop sign. I knew it was him.
I just want you to be prepared in case they come in and do certain.
I probably could put it in the street.
I go, you just went
Sounds
south,
good to me.
turn around.
Well,
So
what
you're
I
at the stop
thought, I
sign,
went into
turn
the
left,
street department.
turn around, come back, turn left.
I may I'll have to probably
He goes,
create
I didn't think that
a
was
M
over
code
there. I thought
to
that was
put the money
Crescent.
in there.
I said, Crescent's a couple streets over.
I don't
The
think we'll be able to
ordinance
take
doesn't
that
say
vacation
Crescent,
you always wanted.
The
for
ordinance
all
doesn't
this.
say
His
where
head
it
thinking,
goes.
Don't ever give me cash. I don't want
He
any
goes,
cash.
he goes,
What was the last four digits of that phone?
Jeff Crescent said we're off the radio.
It's
He just,
220.
but if there had been a
718.
sign there, it would have said everything. He would have gone all around.
Okay.
If we sell 100 of them,
You get your
2,500.
There's a
2,500
2,500 back.
back.
Hear that? We sell 100 of those signs for $25 a piece. There's a 2,500.
we only got 98 to go.
You good with it?
But you only sell the ones in the poor neighborhoods.
17.
Yeah, we can't sell them all in the city yet.
As poor folk may not be able to afford that.
Tim, you talk to us, we might be able to get you.
I want you.
sign.
Yeah, I know your house is paid for, right? Right. I mean, I don't want to put rumors out there, but I think you said your house is paid for. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But go up to River Oaks where I live. I guarantee you probably none of those houses are paid for.
Other than yours?
We're in bigger debt than what anybody else is. Yeah, I like mine.
And that to Tim, he can sign as acting mayor or something.
Yeah. Mosquito spraying, we have started that, and we are doing that on Tuesdays and Fridays. I've told Dave to wait as long as he can, so I'm hoping it's 11, 12, maybe even 1 o'clock in the morning when he sprays. For some people,
Start 11 o'clock.
some people walk their dogs at 1 and 2 in the morning, which I didn't know, but they do. So
Start approximately 11 p.m.
yeah, and it is on the website. The days that we spray are on the website. So if you get any complaints, which Willow Ridge is in your ward,
I know.
It's on the front.
That isn't.
Chris Lawson told me today they post it on the website.
It's on the front page.
Is
The complaint I got last year was from over your area.
Yeah, well, and River Oaks, yeah.
I don't think I had any.
Dog walkers, when they're walking their dogs.
Walking your dogs at
midnight
midnight
or
morning or
something.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Hey Keith, if I wait till the mayor gets back and signs this will still go through in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
I
You do it either way.
Yeah, that's
I don't
just-
care.
because it looks like I'm signing and forget my own street sign. So.
Yeah.
I'll wait, and let the mayor sign it.
Okay.
I mean, if it had to be done, I would do it, but I just,
No, that's all right.
You know.
Thanks for filling that.
Anything else, Bob?
Don't have anything else. Unless somebody else has
I would
something.
like to
Conscience
I'd
survey?
like to just bring up one thing
Okay.
that, as you know, that property next to the street department over there is for sale.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering if Dave or any of them over there were thinking that, hey, we could use that property, could we put it to use? I don't think they're really asking that much money for it. And I just wanted to bring that up and,
I guess I always like to purchase property if it adjoins city property, just in case, because if you ever need more property, then you really have to pay for it. Like what I think we found out for fire station and things like that. I don't know what the purpose would be. I mean, I really don't.
well, that's what I was
that
wondering.
right now.
Is there some way that it could be put to use that we, for the
Is
benefit
that,
of
I
that
mean, is the
street
buildings that are
department?
there, the like the incinerator and where they stored the dogs and things like that? Is that the property you're talking about?
No. The one where the one that just built the.
The Humane Society.
Humane
Yeah, but
Society.
isn't that
Humane
the dog
Society.
pound there? Is that
No, there's two
No,
buildings.
there's two.
The one
brick
closest to the
building.
or go ahead.
Yeah. The one closest to Hopewell is the county dog
Okay.
tent. The other one was the Humane Society. That's the property where the parking for the Humane Society is that way, and the parking for the county is this way.
Okay.
The incinerator is right behind it. It's on this side.
Okay.
All that other property right there is the Humane Society. Where that building is and where those pens are.
So there is a building on the property that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
How much ground's there? Do you know? How much like grass? I mean, ground as opposed to the
I
building?
would kind of think that maybe there's an acre and a half, 2 acres. I don't know.
Why doesn't is it Humane Society that's staying there? Or the
No,
or the
they
county?
moved.
The county's staying in the front
Well,
building.
that's what I'm saying. Somebody has stayed there.
Yeah.
Why don't
Right.
they want it?
I don't know.
I mean,
The way
do
I
they want it?
understood, they donated it to the, originally donated it.
It was the original Licking County Animal Shelter, and then it was donated to the Humane Society when we built the new building. So
And it still belongs to the Humane Society,
Right,
not to the
right.
county.
right.
And they
I
are
think
wanting
it's-
to sell
They
it.
You
want
need a
it.
place for more of that salt?
Well,
you
wait,
know,
I mean, our building can get full.
County
all the time.
donated to the.
We-
That's
Good.
the way I understood it years ago.
Well, you know,
When
I
they
was just
moved out
thinking
of
maybe,
it.
you know, there's a possibility you could use that building as, you know, maybe.
I'd have to look in. I don't know what's in the
Heath,
building. I
I think
don't
it
know.
might be county property.
Well, I
Yeah,
I'm not
I just
sure.
thought I'd bring it
It
up.
might be
and,
county property
you know,
too.
we can look at it. And see.
Okay. You know, I thought maybe Dave and maybe the guys over there say, hey, I think there's a couple acres right there.
What's in that building? I've never been in it. What's in that building? I mean, is it offices? Is it?
To my understanding, it's
Yeah.
just an area where they work on animals that have had problems. And from my understanding, like a new dog shelter or whatever, they can't have outdoor pens like are up there because the animal shelter can't take it over and use those pens. But like someone like a groomer could move in there. It would be perfect for a groomer to use because it's small place, but place for dogs.
Wouldn't you say there's an acre, maybe 2 acres?
I don't think that.
Maybe an acre. I don't know, Doug. I'm a little off on the measurement, but I wouldn't say too much more than that because
Why don't you look at it, Bob, and
Okay.
ask your guys up there if
You know,
yeah.
if they can see any
That's gonna be
use
the
for it,
price.
and, you know, the price is not that, they're not asking that.
You know
much
what it
money
is?
for that.
You know what it is?
I thought it was under 40,000.
I saw it
Right
somewhere.
around
I
40
honestly
or
don't
something
remember.
like that.
Okay.
35 to 40,000.
Yeah.
That's all I have. Unless
Here,
somebody
now.
else has something.
Maybe on their website.
Okay, so we will adjourn at 6:06.
Right, and we'll call Parks, Recreation, and Davis Shea to order at 6:06. Bob,
Okay. More agenda.
what's Star Spangled
Uh,
Celebration?
Star Spangled Celebration at Yellow Park. Just we're doing our normal spring
Okay.
cleaning.
Okay.
We're mulching all the trees and trimming the trees and just doing our regular stuff, getting ready for it. The park right now, the park looks really good. So it's I'm really happy how it looks. So we're getting ready for that real quickly. Also, number 2 is kind of with that at Geller Park. We've had some fence that has, well, the storms we've had trees come and knock the fences down. We had this woody vine that was growing that we were trying to kill, and this thing wouldn't die, and the weight of this eventually took the fence down. So there's some fence that we're gonna have to replace, and it could be, I think Craig said it was almost 600 square feet of fence that we've lost over there. Now that fence was put in there, I started in 1978. That fence was probably put in 1979 or 80. So that's been there 33 years now. But we're gonna have to start replacing some of that. I'm gonna look to see if I have anything in my budget, but if not, maybe something we have to do, or maybe it could be next year with capital improvement money. But it could be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to replace that fence.
Put a bucket out on July 2nd, fence repair fund.
If we
Maybe-
charge,
Maybe people would throw
That's
a
right.
dollar in.
So I just want to let you know, I haven't gotten any complaints about it, but again, it's just something that needs to be done. And I don't like things not looking very nice over there, but everything looks nice. With that, since we're talking about Geller Park, the playground equipment that we got through Nature Works that Eddie Hunt got for us, that's going to start in August. And John may be reporting this in his committee meeting in July, but that will start in August, and we have to remove the old wooden landscape structures that we have. So we will be taking that out ourselves. And then, I hate to burst somebody's bubble, but hey, I got the floor. Robertson Construction is going to put that in for us. And I don't know what kind of deal John and the mayor did with Robertson, but they're going to install the playground equipment for us. So that deletes some of that cost. And then with that, we got bigger apparatus because of that. Because usually to install playground equipment is 33% of the cost. So if you bought $20,000 worth, it's $7,000 to put it in. So anyway, that's going to happen in August, and we're waiting till after the 4th of July before we do that.
When did you say donated,
Excuse me?
playground equipment, you said, where did we get that?
We got it from NatureWorks. It was a NatureWorks grant.
I'm a little confused. You said you hate to burst somebody's bubble here, and Robertson's putting it in, and I mean,
Because John John's probably going to
Okay.
report on it.
Okay.
tomorrow.
We don't put that stuff out for bid. We just go out and
We didn't have to.
didn't have it. Just
And Eddie, that's another thing. I'll just give you it didn't have to be bid, but NatureWorks, which is a state agency, maybe they get the money from the federal government, but they have to have something from us, and maybe they can do it from the mayor or the law director saying that we waived the bidding process for it. We got prices, but we didn't have to bid it out. So we have to give them something to show that we waived it. And then they're gonna come in with a legislative request asking, usually we have to pay for it up front, and then we get reimbursed by the grant. And then also to enter into a contract. I think we're getting it from Summit Service Supply. They've done a lot of our playground equipment, so that'll probably be coming through John's committee next time. But Eddie kind of head that up. We just kind of took a shot in the dark to get that grant. We got it, so that'll be good.
Do you have questions, Sam? Okay. And will Robertson be removing the old?
No,
Okay.
the Parks Department.
Okay. Okay.
You might ask John to make sure that's for public knowledge. I mean, I know it's in here, but you might ask John if that's all secured, if Robertson is really doing it. I know we're having a meeting out there tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure Robertson's going to do it.
Okay, so you don't want me to mention that?
You can, just ask John. If John says it's okay, that's fine. The third thing is pool repairs and expenses. We've went through a lot this year. We had to replace the spray ground heater. Craig said they only last about 4 or 5 years. He got a new one that is supposed to last longer this time.
What is it?
Spray ground heater. It's where the activity pool is, that area. No, and you know what? The spray ground heater might be for all those things that spray up out of the cement. There's geysers and stuff that come up. And anyway, we have heaters for everything. Right now, some of the things aren't being heated. Like when I was a kid, when I used to go to the Oak Valley swimming pool for swim lessons at 8 in the morning, and I froze myself to death, right? Did you ever do that, Tim? Oh my goodness gracious, that water was cold.
It was.
We also fixed the trash fence. That was pretty much with the storm we had. It got ripped all apart, so we had to replace that, fix that. Trash. That's where we store our
Trash.
trash. To hide our
the
trash.
That's to hide the trash.
Yeah. It was a wooden fence we had built when we did the pool in 2002, the new improvements, and we're replacing that. We also painted the inside of the bathhouse this year. We did the striping in the pool for the lanes. We kind of did new landscaping this year, and we had to replace one of the big chlorine tanks. We had 2 tanks out there, and went to put stuff in it, and then it started to leak. So Craig had to hurry up and go down and buy another tank, and pump the stuff back in there. I mean, if you ever see Craig, just always thank him, because that pool is a full-time job maintenance-wise. I mean, and he is the expert of the pool. I mean, he is the expert. And without him, it would be a lot worse than whatever we're paying, it's worth it, especially for me. It's peace of mind. And we have Craig working on that all the time, but he knows that inside and out. The old pool, built in 1971, it's going good. Things are nice. The new pool in 2002, it's just, we have problems, you know? And I think, and I'm still glad we did everything, but sometimes you do things more complicated, it's just more things that can go wrong, you know, pumps and we're losing water, but it's not as bad as what it has been. So, but again, it's a nice addition that we had. But it's just the old part going really well. New part we have some
Just
problems.
don't make like he used to.
I know. concrete cracks, and just all sorts of stuff going on.
It was that opening of the pool when all this came down in 2002, came down the slide where it caused the problem.
There were a couple guys in this room that might have caused some of those
Now
problems.
remember, that was in the old pool.
That was in the old
The pool. Don't blame us for the next one. Keith and I took care of the old pool, didn't we, Keith? See, we did a test.
Down the slide.
Did one go down the
Tsunami.
speed slide and one went down the curly
Yeah, I went
slide?
speed, he went down the curve.
You went down the curl. It takes longer to get down the.
Yeah.
We created the first tsunami.
Actually, I thought he'd be a better slide.
Yeah, we thought. Wait a minute, we didn't order a wave pool. As far as attendance goes, it's been a little iffy, only because of the weather. Keith and I were talking about it today. That we had. It looks like we had a pretty good day today at the pool, but just through the storms, and we've had a lot more rain this year. It's just been down a little bit, and my own opinion is that I think the peak of swimming pools has peaked. And I'm not sure that attendance will ever be what it was. I think that's a lot because of kids are doing so many different things, with camps and all the things you do. Mother and dad both working. I just don't see how people have as much time to go as they used to. So the peak is there. I'm just trying. Got to try to get through where we get this debt service paid off. We have another 9 years.
Less than that, 8 maybe.
8 years. Once we get that, then we should be, okay. But as I've said, we have paid well over $1 million on that debt service through pretty much pool receipts. So that wasn't originally in the plans of everything. So that's worked out pretty good overall. But we'll keep looking at ways to improve things and trying to bring in more money. I will be on vacation next week, so all calls go to Dick Morrow. Anybody calls for anything?
We need to
Did you
approve that.
have, don't you going to be on so we didn't,
What's that?
we wouldn't know you were on vacation, you had to tell us?
I
Call me.
and this phone, trying to hide it. And other items, and I think I've told you before, but through our insurance money, which, is that being passed tonight? Is that on the agenda? Do you have an agenda?
Yeah.
Is that on tonight, or is that, have we done that already?
Pool fund,
Did-
appreciate those
Pool
dollars.
fund, $11,487, that's the second reading.
Good. With that insurance money, I'm sure I've told you, we had to replace a door that was, got damaged in the storm, which I think was $1,147 maybe. There were some trees in the parking lot that had to be replaced. The umbrellas, I don't know how many of those we had to replace, 5 or 6 maybe. They were torn, some had to be completely replaced. The shade shelter completely was replaced. So that's what all that money is, coming back into us. And then I think we also told you that we had brought in 20,000, Keith, or what?
21 seems to stick.
21,000 we got for lost revenue last year that got put in the pool fund. So that was good. Keith did a lot of that work. It was a lot of, you want to tell them some things you had to do to get that money besides sign off your grandkids?
I've had to be persistent.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
We had to send a lot of documents over and over, and we sent them and they lost them. Did they lose them? Or we had to resend them. Keith, not saying we, Keith had to resend them. So he had to do a lot of work on that. But it was well worth getting $21,000 in lost revenue. So out of that damage, we got $32,000, almost $33,000 from the damage that we had.
And it made what appeared to be maybe the worst year of the pool
Yeah,
ever.
right.
Made it less
A little bit better.
painful.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, you got that money, and that was actually here in last year, but you got it this year. How do you, I mean, you
Well,
just put it in this year, and so,
The pool fund, the pool fund stands on its own. It wouldn't be any, since it's a separate fund.
yeah. But I mean, if you put it in, it would look like this year made more money. I mean,
Report.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, you just bumped up this year.
We could bump up the income 21,000,
I mean, it's gonna skew, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna look like,
Right. Well, we don't have to include it
Well,
in there either.
you're gonna start with $21,000. At the end of last year, the general fund had to, you guys in the cleanup ordinance appropriated some money to get the pool fund back to even.
right.
So, after the fact, we got that,
Put it ahead.
so, the mayor and I actually had some conversation. He thought it should go to the general fund, since the general fund covered that, but I didn't see it that way, so we did it my way.
Well, I agree with you, so.
Mention that.
I second that.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Anybody have any questions or anything else for Parks Rec and David Shepard?
Yeah, before we leave it, I think we should do something for people like Craig White and Heath. He's been, out at Memorial Day, we was out there, it was getting dark. He was out there picking up all that junk that we had at the airport. And you see him all over, and he's never goofing off. He's always doing something.
Well, some of that, he is getting paid, Cletus, so.
Well,
We are compensating.
I know, but
But I
how
understand the
many other
recognition.
people could you get to do
Well,
it?
I'll put Craig up against anybody that we have in the city. I mean, we did elevate him to, as a supervisor, a four-man supervisor like we have in the street department, so he did get, some pay increase that way. And he does work overtime too, but, I would put anybody against Craig. I've always said, and I'm not putting one department against anybody else, but, in the parks department, those guys work, they work. It's hard work. And I did it for 20 years and it's hard work. And Craig busts his butt and makes sure the other guys do too.
I just
And
like to see,
I know the
some
wastewater
way.
was hard too, but they work there, and it's like the water distribution, those guys, they gotta do stuff too, so it's hard work. But, Craig gets after it, day starts at
bugs me
7.
Sometimes you see people recognized in
Yeah.
town. I have nothing against some of them,
Right.
but why can't we recognize guys like Craig, he's done a lot.
Yeah.
Other people,
Well, we just brag about them, and then we'll.
I just like,
Yeah.
see us push them, like, give them this honor, for that park, achievement award. What was that thing they just did for Cisco? Well, stuff like that, I think, should be different.
Well, I talk good about them all the time, so. Yeah.
Yes.
We can have employee of the month, take a full-size picture of them and hang it on the banner in the median.
Median,
Everything.
right.
Coming and going.
And we'll put pretty flowers around it.
They don't have legs because people look up there and then they'll be bad.
But, just like up at Elder Pyramid, I went back to work. And
Yeah.
if you accomplish something, somebody on his full timers, well, they get a day off with pay,
Wow.
stuff like that, that perks, it helps.
Yeah.
I see people, that,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, there are very few people like Craig and a lot of other employees.
Right. Wow, he does a good job, so.
All right, anything else? If not, we'll adjourn at 6:23.
Who's gonna do finance?
That'd be me.
Another can of worms there.
Yeah.
Make sure they're coming.
I'll do this very well left-handed.
That is hers.
Have you heard something? Have you heard something? Seriously, you never heard the big money. Oh, how'd you hear that? You started the room.
Next month.
Does everybody have an agenda?
You need one, too? You have one?
I got it.
Everybody got one, okay.
Okay, we'll call finance to order at 6:23. First item on the agenda, we have some legislative requests. The first one is to appropriate $5,688 to buy new pistols for the police department. We already talked about that, so, you okay with that? Anybody have any questions about it?
I did what I asked.
There's
Tony.
no noise lot. Whoopee cushion in there or what?
That's a good move.
That's, we're setting the mayor up for this.
Council still doesn't get pistols.
Okay, the next one is to appropriate $800 donation from Marathon to the fire capital outlay. Again, we talked about that, it's just money that was donated, they're trying to get into their budget. Anybody have any questions about that? You okay, Cletus? The third legislative request is to appropriate $680 from the LEF to send Lieutenant Law Enforcement Trust Fund. Is that what that is?
Yes.
Yeah, to send Lieutenant Mason to the CALIA conference. And again, we talked about that. Any questions?
The question I have on all this is, do any of them, I know we'll get into it, but need waived?
Yes, the, one for the pistols, he asked us to waive that.
Yeah, that's.
The what?
The one for the, number
pistols,
one.
number one.
He asked us to waive the
Okay.
number one.
So that's on the agenda tonight.
It is.
Okay, so there weren't any questions or concerns with that one. You okay, Cletus?
Number 3, I don't know what the timing is for the CALIA conference, but I would suggest is that legislation on already?
It's on introduction for
It's
tonight.
not, it's just one, yeah. You're saying we need to go ahead and waive
I
that?
think you would want to waive that one.
Okay,
I think so, yeah.
Wait, I mean,
we can do that.
All right, and the fourth legislative request is to appropriate $2,500 to the street fund for street signs. And we talked about that this evening. Anybody have any additional questions about that? For that, okay, Cletus?
From the general fund.
Did you say said something about waiving that, get going or not?
That one I thought was
Yeah.
on.
The street
street
sign.
sign, yeah, when it comes around, so that'd be next meeting.
Okay. All right, and then under other items, I'm assuming Heath's gonna talk to us about this year's audit.
Yeah. Well, it's nice. Cletus twice complimented me, and then it's audit season, and in the many years that you guys have seen the independent audit that's completed, have you ever seen us have a perfect audit? And truth is that you're not going to this year either. You ultimately.
We wouldn't have believed it.
He set us up for that.
Nice setup, please.
Yeah, but I know audits, I go through them at the credit union all the time.
Okay.
They gotta show they spent some money for something.
Yeah.
Why?
This year's audit, which was again performed by Jason Carr with Wilson, Shannon, and Snow, resulted in no findings for recovery. That's my goal, is that there not be a finding for recovery. There was one finding relative to the city's fixed asset system, which pertained to constructions in progress. Constructions in progress would be a project like the State Route 79 safety project, or that bridge on Hopewell, that the projects lasted more than one fiscal year. And you're supposed to keep track of the project before it's completed at the end of the fiscal year, so that you report the different aspects of, there could be road infrastructure, there could be water line infrastructure, there could be sewer line infrastructure, and these different infrastructure categories need to be reported correctly. Deborah Fleming did our fixed assets before, and in this year, the finding is that some of the reporting of our fixed assets in construction in progress wasn't done correctly. And I don't think anybody's gonna take Denise out and beat her up, because Deborah spent one day with her before Deborah left, and Jason is suggestive that whoever does this construction in progress stuff for the fixed assets should have somebody cross-trained to do it as well. And I'm skeptical that sounds really great in a panacea, but we're awful small here. And it's something that the fixed asset stuff isn't something you do all year long. And it's something that's kind of seasonal and it's kind of done at the end of the year. And one person does it, and I'm not sure you could have two people that could be up to speed on doing construction in progress anyway. But anyway, the bottom line is I'm gonna get a ding for that. There's no money missing, it's miscategorized, it's required an adjustment. We're also in the process of discussing with these auditors two non-compliance issues. They've issued a draft of this. Ultimately, you guys will all get a copy of what their final findings are. And I think there will be 5 items that will be suggestions for improvement. 2 of them involve the pool, and
We had lots on last.
they seem to always pick on the pool, and they prefer you would do inventorying differently, and we've done several of their recommendations in regards to the cameras and stuff, but I tire a little bit of them picking on the pool.
What do they try to do? If they're saying you're fixed assets, you know, I think I know what they're saying, because fixed assets, in industry, you depreciate things every year.
Yeah.
And you can't depreciate this stuff. We don't depreciate.
Well, there's a depreciation schedule as far as the value of the fixed assets. And I think what Denise did is she took the 79 project, the safety project, and dealt with it as a whole sum of money. I find it rather silly, and I've already complained to the auditor of state to no avail, that on something like the 79 project, big multi-million-dollar project, at the end of the project, when they hand it over to us, in essence, I think what they should do is hand the fixed asset over to us, and then we take it. And right now, it's their project. We don't know exactly what they've spent on the sewer lines and this and that. We're supposed to go to a website and retrieve this information for our reporting purposes on something that really, technically, we don't have yet. Same thing happened with the Hopewell Bridge. Why they don't wait till the end of the project, we were not the lead public authority on that, you know. They should wait till the end of the project and say, here's the fixed assets, here's how much we did on sewer, here's how much we put into water lines, here's the street surface, and so many linear feet of street, and X number of dollars, but they don't do it that way. And you may recall that last year I had a little bit of a ding like this. So anyway, my viewpoint is I'm going to continue to do what I do, and they're going to continue to look for stuff, and we'll look until they find something to make, you know, justify their existence.
And
So
some of them are just recommendations too. I mean,
yeah,
they put stuff out there, it doesn't mean you have to do it, but a lot of things are just recommendations too.
well, a couple of these are not. They had to
the fixed asset
repost,
thing
but
probably isn't.
yeah, the last 5 and the 2 regarding the pool are suggestions.
Right.
Excuse me. So, when Jason gets all finished, we have a number of options. One of the options is to, it can come meet with you guys, or meet with finance committee, or not meet at all. In the past, this body has always waived that, heard from me, and got their letter, but it's up to you. But I need Tim's signature if you wanna waive it.
Left the room.
And Tim is
Waive
left.
it.
He's coming.
Anybody have?
They did the same thing to Faye Hoskins. They threatened to send us to jail because
We want it.
we had a
Oh.
1937 piece of
If you have to
equipment.
sign it, we're gonna waive it.
And I had it completely.
Unless everyone wants it, I'd say we just waive it.
Yeah.
Is there something I need to sign now?
As soon as we all decide.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna waive having this, car
Yeah.
come to the meeting and
Everybody okay with waiving?
It's the last
having them come? Okay.
last page.
Then we'll sign it for us then, and do you have anything else for us?
Yeah, I'm meeting with Jason this coming Thursday, Linda Richards and I. And one of what, he's got a complaint about that we're not reconciling properly the EMS billing that we pay somebody to do. And I get the impression that Eileen that does that for us is fit to be tied. She can hardly wait to have conversation with me on that. So that issue may go away before you ever hear about it. And that's all I have.
Anybody else have any questions, any issues for finance? Hearing none, we'll adjourn at 6:35.
You guys wanna take a 5-minute break and then we'll do caucus after that?
Well, now you turn that note video.
Give them to, well, just leave
I
it
don't
right
know
here.
either, it's
I'm
on
gonna
Turn it
there
off
now.
here, but I don't know if it's on this thing or something, or.
I think I just turned can't you turn the monitor off somehow?
Oh,
I think it's on the side, Keith. I think the on-off is on the
this
side,
side?
I think. Isn't it, somewhere?
I don't see anything there.
I was thinking, right here. Power.
Power off.
They locked you out, Tim.
Need it?